Good afternoon everybody and welcome to my channel. My name's Elaine and I'm Ellie Welly Stitcher, both here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. And welcome back if you're a returning viewer. It's really good to spend some time with you again. And if you're new to my channel, thanks for popping by and spending some time with me. And if you like what you see, hopefully you'll subscribe and come back and see me again. Okay, how is everybody? How are we all? I know I've got a jumper on, but it's actually really nice here, and it's been really nice all week, mostly. So we haven't had any rain at all this week, which has meant I've actually had to water my plants in the garden. But yeah, it's really sunny today. I think we had one really cloudy day, and every other day has been pretty sunny. And so for me, there's been less stitching and more gardening, to be quite honest with you. So I've got my projects out that I have stitched, but it's probably a bit less than normal, I would say. Okay, so it is Saturday the 27th of April, and I thought, shall I film this week or shall I leave it till bank holiday weekend? And I thought, no, I'll just come and do it. And I wanted to talk to you anyway, so I thought, well, I might as well have a stitchy chat today instead of waiting till next week. Sorry if I still sound like I've been smoking about 100 cigarettes. I don't smoke, by the way, but I've still got this cough thing going on that I don't seem to be able to get rid of. It's much better than it was. But every now and again I do have a bit of a coughing fit, so I will try not to do that. But if I have to pause the video, it's because I'm quietly dying in a corner, coughing myself silly. Right, okay, so what have I got for you today? I've got a finish, I know, my second finish of the year. I have got my WIP progress. I have got only one piece of haul. I think, you know, my last video I showed you so much haul. I've been a real good girl this time and I bought one thing. I have got some happy mail though, and something that was gifted to me, and I've got two bits of haul actually. No charts though that I've purchased myself. And then I finished a book since I last saw you, and I have put together a little video before I sat down to film this. I took a little video of my chickens because I think I promised you on my last video that I would show you them, because if you remember on my last video, Howard was giving it some welly in the background. He's my cockerel, and he was probably giving it some beans. So he's got a whole group of new ladies that have joined his flock. So 3 of which I mentioned to you last time, and then since then we bought another 2. So I've now got 7 hens and my cockerel Howard. And I'll introduce you to them all. So I've done a little walk round up at the chicken coop, and you'll be able to see how lovely the weather is today. And then I've just sat down to film this. Right, let's get into it, shall we? So, my book a day. So the last time I filmed Flosstube was 4 weeks ago, almost 4 weeks ago. It will be 4 weeks on Monday since I last filmed. So yeah, I last filmed on Easter Monday. So since then I have had 2 days where I haven't done any stitching. Like I said, I've kind of got a bit involved in the garden, if I'm honest. So if it's a last weekend, I hardly stitched at all. Last Saturday I didn't do any stitching, which is most unlike me because I get more stitching done at the weekend. But it was a glorious day and I spent it. I'd been down the garden centre and kitted up, got myself a load of plants and spent all day planting things up and just generally tidying things up in the garden and pottering around. It was lovely. I was absolutely knackered by the end of it and I didn't feel like stitching, but it was a really lovely day. And then every evening this week I have stitched a bit, not much, because I've come home from work and I've had to water all my plants, and you know, and I've potted around the garden a bit, so there's probably been a bit less stitching than usual overall. Right, so anyway, here's where my book of days is so far for April. Obviously we've still got just a few days left to go. Can't believe we're nearly at the end of April. Really, before you know it's going to be summer. So I've, you know, put a few sort of springy like things, some bees. My husband went on a beginner's beekeeping course. When did he go? This week here. He went on the Wednesday and Thursday, I think. Yeah, so he went on a beekeeping course that's run by a husband and wife team. They call themselves Anglesey Bees, and they run courses throughout the year for people that are interested in keeping bees. And my husband really wants a couple of hives, so he went and did that course, and now he's all fired up and dead keen to get his hives and his bees sorted out. So so I thought I'd put a bee in there, and then we've had quite a lot of ducks flying around just recently. And to be honest, I'll tell you what, when I went to get my 2 new chickens, we got them from a place on the island called Will's Chickens, and he sells all rare breed poultry. So he'd got chickens, he'd got ducks. I was so tempted to get a couple of ducks, seriously, but I haven't got a pond, and so many people have told me they're super messy compared to chickens. So I refrained, but I was so tempted. So they had ducks, they had geese, they had a couple of beautiful white peacocks. They were stunning. So yeah, he had absolutely loads of varieties of chickens. They were as well. So yeah, it was a very pleasant. When was it I went? I filmed Flosstube. We went on the 7th of April, Sunday the 7th of April, to collect my 2 new ones. And yeah, I could have spent ages there. I could have brought them all home, really, I could have. But so yeah, anyway, I digress. I'm waffling on already. Here we go. Right, so yeah, so that's where I've got to with my book of days for this month. So some quite springy things on there. Caterpillar I put on there because they're about at the moment, trying to keep them off of my cabbages that I've planted, but there are caterpillars around. And yeah, just some general, and of course a chicken I put on as well, especially for Howard. So that's where we are with April. Okay, so we'll start with my finish, shall we? So since I last saw you, I think I said to you on my last video I probably would go for a finish on this one. So since my last video, I have finished Autumn by the Cricket Collection. I absolutely have loved stitching this, absolutely loved it. So I'll put a picture in where you saw it last time. And you'll see that I only had the M on the end to go. And here I am with it now, it's finished. So I stitched this on a 28 count opalescent linen in the colourway Midas by Chromatic Alchemy. You can't really see the sparkle on it. The lighting's not great in here today. The sun kind of comes around here later on in the afternoon, so it's a bit in the shade. I've like opened all the blinds and I've put the overhead light on as well, because it is, considering it's bright sunshine outside, it's quite gloomy in here. So anyway, I used all of the called for colours, and I'm really pleased with it, really pleased. So we'll be able to have this one up in my house for the autumn this year. So I think I told you with this one that once I'd finished this, I was going to do spring next, but in actual fact I've pulled winter. I haven't started it yet. I have got my fabric. I've got a few DMCs missing that I need to order before I can start it, but yeah, that's going to be next after this one. So obviously I just need to finish this one, and I'm getting a bit naughty for finishing, guys, fully finishing, because I haven't fully finished anything in ages. So yeah, I really need to have a bit of a finishing day, really. Maybe I might try and do that tomorrow actually. But yeah, I've still got to I'm going to finish this one the same way that I finished summer. Let me just get summer to show you, and then you'll understand what I mean, in case, because you know, there's people who haven't watched me before. Just a second. Probably should have paused you a minute, shouldn't I? So this is summer. So I finished this on a mount board, a couple of mount boards actually, and then I put this bow on it underneath. I put some gold braid around it, and then I used this backing fabric of like sky and clouds because I thought it looked really summery. And then I put this bow on the bottom, but I'm not very happy with the bow. I don't really like it anymore, so I'm probably, and it got a bit grubby when we moved actually, so I'm probably gonna take that off and put something else on there, because I'm not too keen on it anymore. Oops, there we go. That's what summer looks like. So I'm gonna finish autumn in the same way, but I'm going to put the backing fabric will be an autumnally one. So I've seen one with lots of like, you know, browns and orange and gold leaves on it that I think would go really well. So anyway, that was summer. So that'll be going up in my house, obviously, once we change to summer. I'll put that back over there. So yeah, one more look at autumn, because I am really chuffed with it. So there we go, that's autumn. All done. So yeah, really pleased with my second finish of the year. It is quite, I've normally had a few finishes by now, but I really want to try and finish some of my bigger things this year. You know, this isn't a massive project, but it's not small either. So I'm really pleased to have finished that. I'm going to put that behind me. Right, so that is my only finish. So we'll move on to my WIPs. So we'll start with the full coverage ones, as we usually do. So I've only worked on 2. And the first one that I worked on is charted by Pain Free Crafts, and the artwork is by Chris Dunn. And I will put a picture in of what it looks like when it's finished and where you saw it last time. And it's getting quite exciting with this one, guys. So here I am with it now. So since I last saw you, I have done some more work. I need one of them professional looking boards that other people put up and like put their projects on it, and it all looks really lovely. Instead, no, not me. Oh, I'm not professional at all. So yeah, so I've got this squirrel coming in down here now, and I'm really excited about that. So since I last saw you, I did another 1100 stitches on this. I'm stitching this one on 28 count easy guide or easy count fabric, and this is 1/1 full cross. But yeah, honestly, the detail in this chart is great, and I've actually got away from a bit of confetti at the minute, and I've done quite a lot of these squirrels pretty easy going actually. So yeah, really pleased with this. So I can't remember what percentage I've completed overall now, but it's coming along quite nicely. I'm really pleased with it. So that is Feast. And then the only other full coverage project that I worked on is also charted by Pain Free Crafts, but this one, the artwork is by Stanley Morrison, and this is Blackberry Dragon. I will put a picture in of again of what it looks like when it's finished and where you saw it last time. And here I am with it now. Now, with this one, you're probably thinking, well, you haven't done a lot on that, Elaine, have you? And no, I haven't, because I've done about 600 stitches, maybe, just over. And I've hit a bit of a confetti clump at the moment. So all around his head here is where I've pretty much been working. I did bang out a couple of hundred stitches on the border, but predominantly I've worked around his head. And around these spiky bits on the top of his head, which they're pretty much, I had quite a few ninja stitches to fill in on those, and I've done that now, and it was slow going. It was slow going. So I did actually have this project out for, I'll tell you how many days, just to put it in context of how slow going it was. 1, 2. So I had it out for 4 days, and I did 250, 350, 550, 660 stitches all together. So not a lot, but the majority of it was because I had to keep putting in lots of little ninja stitches, which you know how slow that is, it takes ages. So this one is stitched on 28 count, easy guide, and I am stitching this one 2 over 1 tent stitch. So yeah, even the fact that it's tent stitch, when it comes to doing the odd stitch here and there, it's no quicker than if you did it full cross. So yeah, so that's where I am with that one. So it was a bit heavy going, that one, this time. And then what have I worked on? So do you know what, I had a bit of a fancy. I've sort of got into this little routine. So I get home from work normally at about 5:10, and I whiz round and feed the chickens and the dog and all that sort of thing. And I normally whiz round, water all my plants and stuff as well. And then the chickens, I put them to bed. They normally go to bed now. They take themselves off to bed at about 7 o'clock, even though it's still light. It doesn't get dark now until 8:30, I suppose. Quite late. Anyway, so they take themselves off to bed at 7, and I shut them away then. So normally by the time I've whizzed around, had a quick bite to eat, it's 6 o'clock, and I have an hour where I come in here and I stitch on something for an hour. Then I put the chickens away, go indoors and with my husband and sit in the lounge and stitch on something else for a couple of hours. So I've been stitching on a couple of projects at a time rather than just one over the past week anyway. But it's meant less progress than if I'd obviously dedicated more time to stitching just one. But I've quite enjoyed it, picking up 2 projects at a time. Right, okay, so one of those projects, I only put like a couple of hours into this. I think it was 2 hours on 2 separate evenings. And I hadn't had this one out for ages, and I thought, I'm just going to give this one a bit of love because I really fancy stitching it. So this is Louisa Barney 1892 by Reflet de Soie. This is what it looks like when it's finished. Well, this is a picture of the original sampler. I really love this, really. But, you know, this border is going to take forever, basically. I think everything in the middle is going to be really easy. And I am trying to be a good girl and do the border before I do anything else. But yeah, the border's taking a long time, I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And this is where I am with it now. So not an awful lot to see. I've just been coming along the top here. I've put in these leaves underneath this flower here. And again, this borders lots of, I put a few stitches down here as well. It's lots of bitty bits, really. You know, I've got a big flower coming in next, which might be a bit quicker. And then I was really tempted, there's a bird here, and I was really tempted to start putting that in. I thought, no, you're going to finish page 1 of this border first, Elaine. Then you can think about doing some of the more fun stuff. Although, to be fair, this is quite nice because it's not a repetitive border, obviously. So, you know, you're stitching something different each time. And it is really pretty, really pretty. So I'm stitching this on 36 count smoky blue linen by Zweigart, and I'm using the DMC conversion. I think this calls for Soie d'Alger silks, and there's so many of them, it would have worked out super expensive, so I went with the DMC. And I like DMC anyway, so it's not a big issue. And I'm stitching it 1/2, so yeah, there I am with it. So it is super pretty, super pretty. And I started this as a stitch along with Contented Needleworker Kim and a host of other ladies. Kim's done way more than I have, way more. She's, I think, finished all of the bottom and she's up the sides, and yeah, she's going to finish years before me, seriously. But, you know, progress is progress. So I was pleased to have that out for a couple of hours over a couple of evenings. Then the next project that I worked on, somebody's car alarm's going off out there somewhere. Apologies for that. Not much I can do about it. Right, so I love working on this project, and I've had to refrain from keep picking it up and stitching it all the time, otherwise it'd be all I worked on. So this is a project that I'm doing a stitch along with Stitchy Sally, and also with Sally from Flossie Sews and Grows, although she's stitching a different chart. So this is With Thy Hands by Teresa Kogut. This is what it looks like when it's finished. I'm doing this big sampler in the middle here. I love stitching this, really love stitching this. I've already been rummaging through my Teresa Kogut charts to decide which one I want to stitch once I've finished this one, because I've enjoyed it so much. Not that I'm anywhere near finished it yet, but it's coming along. I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And here I am with it now. So since I last saw you, I'd done that big house, and now I've come over this side. So I've put in, you can't see him very well on there, but you can see him better in real life actually. But there's like a goat next to that house. So I wasn't sure whether it was a goat or a sheep, but it is a goat. And then I've put in the chicken as well next to that. And now I'm on this second big tree over here. So I'm stitching this on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, and I'm using all of the called for colours, which are predominantly DMC, but there are a couple of weak dye works in this as well. And it's been really good doing this stitch along, because Stitchy Sally, she started from the bottom. I have gone all the way around the border, by the way. She started from the bottom and is working her way up, and I'm working my way obviously from the top down. So it's been really good to do that. So Sally, I started this with Sally as part of her 60th birthday, 6 for 60 starts. So yeah, it's really coming along nice, and I've got to put this tree in, and then we can move down to the bottom section of the chart. I do love it. I do love it, seriously. Oh, I can't believe it's the first Teresa Kogut I've ever stitched. It is such a nice stitch, really. Okay, so I'll put that one over there. Right, next one I stitched on. Well, it's not actually. Not, these are not in any particular order. And my stitching on this is really pathetic, but I thought I did stitch on it, so I will show it to you. So this is Scattered Seed Samplers Winter Stash. This is what it looks like when it's finished. And it looks small, but there's quite a lot of stitching in this, believe me. So I'll put a picture in where you saw it last time. And here I am with it now. You're probably thinking, what have you done, Elaine? Not a lot is the simple answer, but I have done some. I've done this bit over here and a bit under this tree trunk here. But that's it. That's all I've done. About 50 stitches, I reckon. And the reason for that was, so a couple of weekends ago, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, I think, I went to the Cheshire Stitchers stitchy meetup that they have once a month. So the Cheshire Stitchers, they have a meetup on the second Saturday of every month. And my friend Flossie Sews and Grows, Sally, her and I have been trying to get together and meet up for ages. I mean, we met in December for the first time in real life, and we got on like a house on fire. We didn't stop talking for about 3 hours, and we said, yep, definitely, as soon as Christmas is out of the way, we'll get together again for sure. Well, here we are, April, and we finally managed to get together. So so we went to the Cheshire Stitchers Day, which is held in Helsby in Cheshire, obviously. So for me, it's not too bad a journey. I went and met Sally. I went to Sally's house, and then she drove us from her house to the venue, which is a big pub, and the pub give us like a section of the pub basically, and you know, you can have lunch and obviously a drink, and they've reserved some tables for us to stitch with, which was great. So I met lots of lovely ladies, and I do apologise, I can't remember everybody's name, but obviously I sat with Sally and had a good catch up with her, because we haven't, like I say, seen each other since December. And I also sat with Catherine from Cat V Stitches. So I'd messaged Catherine. Catherine comes to the Essex Needles retreats. And I'd messaged Catherine and said, because we'd been saying, she lives in Manchester, and we'd been saying, well, you know, we'll have a meet up. We'll try and get together. We'll meet like halfway between where I live and where she lives one weekend, and perhaps go to Create Nostalgia or something like that. Anyway, when Sally and I organised going to the Cheshire Stitchers, because Sally'd been to their stitch days before, I said to Sally, should we ask Catherine, because I keep saying, you know, I'll meet up with her. And she was like, yeah, of course. So I said to Catherine, do you want to come and meet us, because it's only about an hour from her house to where we were meeting. And she said, yeah. So Catherine came as well, which was lovely. So so Catherine sat with us, and then I also sat with a lovely lady called Chloe, who was a terrible enabler, and Kate from Craftikate, the fabric dyer. And yes, I did of course buy some fabric from Craftikate. She didn't have any with her, but I'd already got in mind that I wanted some fabric from her for my chatelaine project, which I will come back to shortly. So I sat with those ladies, which was lovely, and there was some other lovely ladies there. Justine was there with her friend Elaine, who Justine I met last year at the Wrexham retreat, and I know Justine watches my Flosstube. So hi Justine, it was lovely to see you again. So it was good to catch up with her, and I also met for the first time Lindsay, who is the Cheshire Stitcher. So Lindsay has a Flosstube. If you haven't watched Lindsay, go check her out, because she's really close to 500 subscribers and I'd really like to help her get over the line and get that. So she has some great projects. She also shows you lots of beading that she does, as well as cross stitch. And yeah, she's got some beautiful beaded projects as well. So, and she's got, you know, a real wide variety of projects that she's stitching. So go check out Lindsay. She's got some really good stuff. But yeah, she was absolutely lovely as well. So I had such a good day with those ladies. So it was a real pleasure to meet you all. And I am planning on going with Sally and Catherine to the next one in May. The Cheshire Stitchers have also got a whole full day retreat as well on the 18th of May, which unfortunately I can't go to that one, otherwise I would have done. But it was really lovely to go and meet everybody at the pub, and I hopefully will become a regular at that event, because it was really good. I really enjoyed myself. Anyway, that was a long chat about that, wasn't it? So but yeah, so hence why I didn't get much stitching done, because I was far too busy talking and being enabled by Chloe, which I'll come back to. Right, so that's that one. Let's put that over there. Next one. So this was another one of these projects that I decided to work on while I was waiting to put the chickens to bed, so to speak. So I haven't had this project out for ages. This is by the Scarlet House, and it is Charlotte Frost 1846. That's what it looks like when it's finished. Sorry, that looks a bit glary, doesn't it? So I really like this chart, and I've had this one on the go for ages, and I do a very little bit on it and then nothing at all. So I thought, no, I'm going to get this one out and at least go round and finish the matching the border up, which is what I did. So I went round and checked that my border would fit. In actual fact, the border is one stitch out. I don't know where it's one stitch out, but it is one stitch out. As it does all meet up, but yeah, one of the in and out bits, I can't think of the word for it, is one stitch off. I've had to compensate, it's like by one stitch, but I think it's not going to matter, it'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, so that's all I've done, is just gone round and do that border really. But yeah, at least that bit's done now. And I've been really stupid with this bit of fabric, as you can see, because I've left myself hardly any border this side, and that was pheasants you can hear outside now, and a huge bit this side. Proper miscalculated that one. So likelihood is I'm going to end up having to sew a bit of spare fabric onto this side in order to frame it, because I just haven't left myself enough, I don't think. But anyway, this one is stitched on, oh, I didn't say with Winter Stash, did I? That one's stitched on 36 count Milk and Honey by Fibre on a Whim. And I'm using the called for DMC. It's only got 2 colours in it. So, you know, it's a really easy one to kit up if you're interested in that one. This one is stitched on 38 count Corn Tassel by Access Commodities. And I am using all of the MPI silks, the called for MPIs with this one. I did treat myself, and they are beautiful to stitch with, absolutely beautiful. The lighting in here is so rubbish today, it's not really doing those colours justice, because they are really, really lovely. That little swan, by the way, that's over 1, but it's over 1 in half stitch, which actually is a bit easier to do than a full cross, I found. But yeah, that's where we are with Charlotte Frost. So it was good to have that one out as well. So that one and Louisa Barney, I thought, you know, for that hour before I put the chickens to bed, although they probably will start going to bed even later soon, because like I say, it doesn't get dark now, not not really until about 8:30, so I'm sure they'll be wanting to stay up later than 7. But it was nice just to bring out some of my old projects that I haven't stitched on for a while. Right, next, right, so the final 2 that I've been stitching on, and again, one of them's been my hour before I put the chickens to bed, and the other one has been my indoors project. So this one's been my hour before I put the chickens to bed. So this is Rejoice Evermore by Brenda Gervais. This is what it looks like when it's finished. I love this. I really love this one and that Teresa Koga one. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Love them. Love them. So I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And here I am with it now. So what I've done since I last saw you, I've done been putting in a few more of these strawberries along that top border, and then I'm doing the equivalent side of this, so I've been putting in the rest of that. This one is stitched on 36 count platinum by Zweigart, and I'm using all the called for threads. I have gone around the border and I love stitching it, love it. Really, really nice to stitch this is. So yeah, quite pleased with my progress, just over a couple of evenings of putting 1 or 2 threads in that. And finally, I apologise I haven't ironed this one. I've literally just took this one off the Q-snap because I was working on this one last night. So final project I've been working on, and I'm not too far off a finish with this one now. Hey, get me, this I think will probably be my 3rd finish this year, and this is a bigger project. So this is Merry Merry Needleworker by Lindy Stitches. I will put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And look, it is terribly creased. I do apologise, but you know me, I don't iron anything until it's completely finished. I'm really pleased with how this one's going, so let me bring it in a bit closer. Yeah, really pleased. So since I last saw you, I've been working over this side, and I finished putting in the butterfly, putting that flower, the little snail, and then that cotton reel underneath. And the cotton reel I have done in the suggested. She said you can either cross stitch it or satin stitch it. So I did decide to satin stitch it, because I quite like satin stitch. I'm not the neatest satin stitcher, but I do quite like it. So this one is stitched on 32 count platinum by Zweigart, and I've used 2/2 on this one, and I have used all the called for threads, which are a mix of DMCs, there's Gentle Arts, Classic Colourworks, etc. So yeah, I really like it, really like it. So very pleased with that. I have still got, I think I'm at 81% according to Pattern Keeper. So yeah, not too far off of the finish, not too far. The biggest thing with that one was the skirt. It took me like over a year to do the skirt, if not 2. So right, that is all of my that's all of my WIPs. So I have got just 2 small bits of haul, a bit of news and some happy mail. So my 2 bits of haul, so one's not very exciting at all. So this, I bought a set of hoops basically to finish in, because on my last video I showed you Home Sweet Home, which I'd finished, but I scattered seed samplers and I wanted to finish it in a hoop. This is what I mean, I haven't done any finishing. So I'm going to take the biggest hoop out of this and use that as to put that in, and then I've still got a couple of other hoops as well that I can use for even smaller projects. But yeah, I have got a couple of these, but they were too big, so I bought these off of Amazon. So that was one purchase. And then, so as I said, I was a bit enabled when I went to the Cheshire Stitchers Day, and so was Catherine. So we were sitting there talking about chatelaines, because I've got a chatelaine, which I showed you in my last video that I've kitted up. It was a treat to myself for my 60th birthday that I bought the kit from Serena at Hawkins Hobbies. I hadn't got the fabric for it. And in my last video, if you remember, I asked you guys for your suggestions for scroll frames, because with that particular chart, I've listened to other experienced chatelaine stitchers who advised me that I really should use scroll bars to put it on. So I asked you guys what frame you would recommend, and ideally one that I could use with my Lowry stand, because I don't really want to invest in purchasing a scroll frame stand, because I don't very often stitch on a scroll frame. Have got one, I've got an Elbacy one, but I've used it very rarely, and I didn't particularly like it, if I'm honest. So I didn't really want to invest in a stand as well. I'd rather use my Lowry if I can. So all of you offered up some great suggestions. And I said to you guys that I would never buy anything again from Needful Needs, because I'd had a bit of a poor experience in the past. But so my friend Susie, by the way, sent me a video of frames and demonstrated using them. It was just brilliant. So thank you, Susie. I so appreciated that. But anyway, I was at the Cheshire Stitchers Day, and there was a lovely lady there called Chloe, and she was stitching on a fancy lady. Was she stitching a fancy lady? Anyway, then she got a chatelaine out, and she was stitching on a scroll frame, and the way she got it set up on her Lowry stand, I was really impressed with, and so was Catherine. And Catherine and I were talking, because she's got a chatelaine to start as well. I'm doing Sparkling Peacocks Mandala, and Catherine's doing Evening in the Park. And we'd already been having a chat with Craftikate, and I said to Kate, I said, look, I know you're here stitching today and you haven't bought any fabrics with you. I said, but my friend Susie, funnily enough, Susie again, you enabler you, had shown me a piece of fabric at the Essex Needles retreat, which she thought would suit my chatelaine, called True Grey, which was dyed by Craftikate. So I said to Kate, have you still got that fabric? And she said, yeah. And I said, can I order a bit then? So she went, yeah. I said, I know you're here stitching, but can I order a bit of that fabric? And she said, yeah, of course you can. So I've ordered a piece of fabric from Craftikate. So I ordered some fabric, and Catherine was like, oh. So she went on Kate's website and ordered herself a piece of fabric for Evening in the Park. And then, so Chloe was stitching on a scroll frame, and I was so impressed with it, I ordered one. I thought, okay, I'm gonna give it one more go. So I bought this. And I have to say, the service was completely different to my last experience. Whoops, sorry, I'm just not used to scroll frames, as you can tell. So I bought a Needle Needs Millennium frame. Never thought I would, but here we go, I did. And I really, really like it. So, here's the one I bought. Oh, so this is the 30-inch one. And I bought it with the 8 to 10-inch sidebars, because this is what Chloe was using, and I thought it's plenty big enough. I don't need even more. This is fine for space for me. So this is what I'm going to stitch my chatelaine on, and I'd already got the scroll bar adjuster for my Lowry stand. I bought it years ago and I'd not used it. Anyway, I ordered this at the stitch day on the Saturday, and it arrived the following Friday, so less than a week I got it. So I was super pleased with the service this time. And as for the frame, it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's beautifully made. It's just lovely. It's just absolutely lovely. So yeah, really, really pleased with my Millennium frame. So, and I'm pleased to support that I've supported a UK business as well. So yeah, super pleased with that. If I ever need another scroll frame, I may buy more from them. Anyway, so that was my haul. So that was quite a big purchase, because, you know, they're not cheap. But yeah, so I have got my frame now to put my chatelaine on. Talking of chatelaines, so I got a message from Michelle at Mama Loves You GB, and she was telling me that she had seen me talking about kitting up my chatelaine, and that she had one waiting in the wings to start as well. And I'm a little bit daunted by stitching a chatelaine, I've got to say. I am. I've got the paper chart, and I've also got the PDF version of it as well, because I was advised stitch it from the PDF, it's easier. But it still looks quite daunting, and Michelle said it was a bit like hashtag don't be afraid of the chatelaine. So she's planning on starting it for her birthday in July, and I thought, well, I'll probably have all my bits together by then. So if you like, I don't mind starting it with you. It will be a start along and not a stitch along, because I am, you know me, and if I'm going to stitch a chatelaine, there is not going to be any stitch along going on with it, because it's probably going to take me forever. But I did say to Michelle that I'll start it with her. So I don't know if Catherine's planning on starting hers sooner, but we did think, if you've got a chatelaine kitted up that you want to start, either you're really experienced and you know, you just want to stitch along with us, please feel free to do so. Like I say, Michelle's birthday's, I think she said, near the end of July. If you want to join us, we're going to start for Michelle's birthday. If you're stitching your first chatelaine like myself and Michelle, then, you know, equally definitely do join us. You know, because we can all like stop being scared of them together and just get on and stitch it. So so yeah, I think we're going to call it Don't Be Afraid of the Chatelaine Sale. So yeah, come and join us, and it'd be great to see everybody's progress and all the different chatelaines as well, because Michelle's not stitching the same one as me. I'm sure she'll tell you on her channel which one she's stitching. But yeah, so looking forward to starting that. So that's a big start later this year. I haven't got my fabric yet from Kate, and there's no rush for it, because I'm not going to start that till July. And I know Catherine, by the way, ordered the same Millennium frame as me, and she's got hers too. So the service has improved dramatically since my last experience with Needle Needs, which was several years ago now. Right, okay, so when I met up with Sally from Flossie Sews and Grows, she gave me a chart. Sally, thank you so much. So Sally obviously knows that I like chickens, and those of you that watch Sally will also know she has chickens as well and also likes stitching chickens. So Sally gave me this chart, which is Hens and Chicks by Brenda Gervais, and I am a big Brenda Gervais fan. In fact, Sally and I have got a very similar taste in what we like to stitch. Lots of primmy type stuff, so she gave me that. I will stitch that sooner rather than later for sure. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Sally. I was really, really chuffed with that, really chuffed. And then the other day I came home from work and I'd had a really busy day, and I walked in, and was it Wednesday? There was a parcel sitting on the side for me, and I thought, I haven't ordered anything. What on earth's that? So I looked at it and I thought, that looks like one of the parcels that Pauline sends out from SewBeBags, because I like Pauline's bags and I buy a lot of them. And if you haven't seen Pauline's bags, she does a drop of bags. I don't know if she does once a month or once every couple of weeks on a Friday on Instagram at 6 o'clock UK time. Pauline will put up some bags usually, and she always uses wonderful fabric, and I've bought a lot of Pauline's bags. Anyway, I thought it looks like a parcel from Pauline. I haven't ordered any bags. And anyway, it was a parcel from Pauline, and she very, very generously sent me 2 bags, and I was just blown away. So Pauline, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you do watch my Flosstube. Honest to God, you proper put a smile on my face, really, that day. So she sent me this one, sorry. So this one's she sent me for my birthday from when I was 60. And as you can see, it's a chicken bag. What's not to like? I love it. Love, love, love. So, and Pauline's bags are great. They're a perfect size. I use a lot of 11 by 11 Q snaps, and they fit in this bag perfectly. So yeah, beautiful. Her bags are always beautifully made. So thank you for that one, Pauline. And then not only did she send me the one for my birthday, but she sent me this one. And she said, I'm sending you this one to put your chatelaine in. And here's the reason why. Because look at that. It's got peacocks on it. Look. What a super, super, super bag. Look at those peacocks. And not only has it got peacocks on it, but she put a little sparkly button on it, because I'm going to stitch sparkling peacocks. How cool is that? And she said, I thought of you and you talked about your sparkling peacocks mandala, and I thought I'll make you a bag to put it in. So I have a bag. So I've got the frame, I've got the kit, and I've got the bags to put it in. So I'm just waiting for the fabric, and I'm waiting for my start date with Michelle. How cool is that? So that was just such a lovely surprise. So thank you, Pauline. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. One more thing on the stitching front, and then quickly I'll sort of tell you a little life update. Not that I've got much to tell you, but a little bit. So it is 3 years. I mean, 3 years, I can't believe it. Seriously, it is 3 years since I started Flosstube. 3 years. Where's that time gone? So I started Flosstube in April 2021. So yeah, it's my 3-year anniversary. And I never thought when I started this channel that it would still be going, and that I'd love it so much. And I never thought when I started that I'd end up being part of such a fabulous community, that I'd end up making so many stitchy friends. Never. So honestly, I started it kind of in the midst of one of the lockdowns, because I couldn't see my mum at the time, and I'd just not long started stitching, and I wanted my mum to see my YouTube videos, because it was a way that she could sort of connect with me, if you see what I mean. And my mum, she wasn't a cross stitcher, but she was a seamstress, so she was quite chuffed that I'd taken up stitching. She thought she'd never see the day, but she was quite pleased that I did. She's no longer with us now, but yeah, that's the reason I started this channel. And who knew that I'd end up organising retreats with Teresa Little Stitcher, going on other people's retreats, meeting loads of lovely people virtually as well, because, you know, there's quite a few of you that, you know, send me comments every time that I do a Flosstube, and I feel like you're friends now, and I love hearing little updates from, like, Dawn, for example. Dawn's watched me for ages, and she always sends me a newsy little comment. So does Laurel. So yeah, honestly, thank you so much to all of you for making me welcome as part of the Flosstube community. And so I've just got a little giveaways, just a couple of charts. Bear with me 1 minute, because I just want to I've forgotten to get one of them out. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I thought I'd do a giveaway because, you know, it's been 3 years, and I just thought I'd just like to say thank you, really. So I am going to give away 4 charts. So the first one that I'm going to give away is the finish that I've just showed you. So I am going to give away Autumn by the Cricket Collection. So here's what it looks like. I don't mark my charts, so it is as I got it. So there it is. If you would like to win this chart, then please use the word autumn in your comment. And you can write me a creative comment, you can just write the word, I really don't mind, whatever, but use the word autumn if you would like to win this one. Anybody can enter. I will post anywhere, so please feel free to enter wherever you are in the world. I will send it to you. And then the second one I'm going to give away is the finish that I had last time on my video. So this is by Scattered Seed Samplers, and it's Home Sweet Home Pinky. This is what it looks like. Oh, sorry, it's a bit glary. This is what it looks like when it's finished. It's a really quick stitch, this one. It's a really sweet little stitch to do. If you would like to be in the draw to win this one, please use the word home. Please use the word home in your comment. Or just comment home. I don't mind. You can be creative, or you don't need to be. It's up to you entirely. Right, and then I'm going to give away a couple of fancy lady charts. And the reason that I am is because I have got 2 fancy lady charts on the go. One Mirabilia and one Bella Filipina. Neither of which I've stitched on in ages. I will go back to them at some point, but I just don't, I'm not feeling it for fancy ladies, is what I'm trying to say. I'm just not. So I don't really think I'm going to stitch one. And with that in mind, I'm going to give away a couple of Mirabilia charts. So the first one that I'm going to give away is this one, and this is the first, I think this is, no, the second Mirabilia chart that I ever bought, actually. So this one is Midsummer Night's Fairy, which looks like this, and it is beautiful. And if you want to see the finished version, which looks amazing, if you watch Stitching Mummy, Sarah, her videos, I think has she got this one, or is it Stargazer on her wall? I'm sure I've seen this one on Stitching Mummy's videos. I could be wrong, but I think I have. But yeah, so I don't know why, but I get this one mixed up sometimes with Stargazer. I know for definite that Sarah stitched that, but I'm sure she stitched that too. If I'm wrong, I'm sure she'll correct me. So yeah, so if you would like to win that one, please use the word fairy in your comment. And I've never used this, it's still sealed. Okay, it is a brand new chart. And the second one that I'm going to give away, and I do like this chart, but I just don't think I'm ever going to stitch it. I really don't. But I do like it. So this is by Mirabilia as well, and it's the Raven Queen. This is what it looks like when it's finished. Again, it's really beautiful, but I'm just not gonna, I just don't think I'm gonna stitch it. So if you'd like to win this one, please use the word Raven. Use the word Raven. Okay, so if you would like to win any one of those, like I say, it's open to anyone, anywhere in the world. Quite happy to post it to you. I'll do the draw on my next video. Please make sure that you are over 18, because I will need your postal address in order to send it to you. Yeah, so you know, good luck with that one. But I just wanted to thank you all for 3 years of watching me, and I know some of you have been with me for the whole of those 3 years. So we've come on a real journey together, and a lot has happened in that time. Lots, you know, from when I first started filming back in Essex to filming here now in Ynysmon, Anglesey, North Wales. So that's it for my cross stitching. So hopefully I will, if you're here just for the cross stitch, then I will see you all again next time, probably in about, it won't be 3 weeks, I don't think, because I've got a feeling, where's my book of days gone? I have a feeling, let me just check. 1, 2, 3, right. No, I can't film in 3 weeks time, because that weekend is when I am flying to Italy. So next month I'm going to Italy for a week, well, just under a week, with some stitchy friends. So I'm going to Italy with my friend Teresa Little Stitcher, and our friends Mary and Gina from Gina Stitches 21 on Instagram, and Mary, who is the Quiet Minded Stitcher. And we are going to do a bit of stitching, but we've hired a villa in Umbria with a swimming pool. So I think there's going to be a bit of chilling out, a bit of sunbathing hopefully, definitely a bit of stitching, and probably a bit of sightseeing as well. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting together with the girls for a week to do that. I'm going to the next Cheshire Stitchers Stitch meetup on the, oh God, not very prepared, am I? So I'm going to their next meetup, which is the second Saturday in May, which is the 11th of May. So I'm going to that. So I'm meeting up with Sally and Catherine from Cat V Stitches again for that one. And then, so yeah, a couple of stitchy things to look forward to next month. So I'm really looking forward to both of those things. Apart from that, busy day today, because we opened applications for Essex Needle Retreat, March 2025 retreat yesterday. So I've got a call with Teresa later today to go through. We use the Decisions Wheel app to pick, you know, the people that have applied who are going to be able to come, because we always end up oversubscribed. So we've reduced our numbers slightly this time as well, because we think we had a bit too many last time, and it was a bit too crowded. So we've chopped down the numbers very slightly for that. So we've got to pick out that later on today. So I've got a call with Teresa later. Right, apart from that, what else has happened? So I've read a book since I last saw you. So I read the second book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. I'm heavily into her books at the moment. So I finished the second book, and now, which I think is called The Court of Mist and Fury, and now I'm reading the third book in the series, which is The Court of Wings and Ruin, which I'm really enjoying. So then there's 2 more books in that series. What I might do actually is take a little break after I've read this book, if I can bear to put them down, and just read something else for a little while, just because I've read a lot of fantasy lately, and it would be nice to read perhaps crime or something just for a bit of a break from it. So yeah, so apart from that, work has been going really well. So we've been starting to get really busy, so you know, especially since the weather's changed. So I've been heavily recruiting for that. I've been doing a bit of training, and work's going really well. So really pleased with that. Apart from that, yeah, not much else really. It's all been about gardening and stitching, and yeah, it's been great, really great. Wish I could get rid of this cough, which keeps hanging around, but never mind. You know, hopefully now the weather's getting better, it'll disappear. The doctors told me it is viral, but I seem to have had it for like 2 months now, and I always take a long time to shift a cough anyway, but this one's really lurking around. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm waffling on. I'll put my video of the chickens in after this, so if you want to stay around and get your feel of looking at Howard and my girls, then yeah, there's a little 2-minute video of them. And apart from that, I'll probably see you, I think it's gonna have to be maybe the end of May, guys. I know it's quite long, but by the time I get back from, there we go, there's Howard saying goodbye to you. By the time I get back from Italy, I don't get back from Italy till the 24th of May. If that's the bank holiday weekend, I can't remember if it is, then I might film on the Monday maybe. If it isn't, it'll be the following weekend, so it will be 5 weeks. Enter the draw. You've got until my next video to get your entries in for that. Please don't use the words giveaway or raffle or anything, you know, in your comments, because I don't want to attract any nasty trolls to my videos. Anyway, take care, guys. Have a great few stitchy weeks. Enjoy the sun if you're in the northern hemisphere, and I hope it's not too cold yet down in the southern hemisphere. So have a good few stitchy weeks, and see you all soon. Bye for now. Hello everybody. So I did promise you that I would show you what my chickens look like. So here's Howard, and he's cock of the hoop, as you can tell. He's a bit vocal. You've heard him several times on my videos. So I thought this morning, before I film my Flosstube, I would come and introduce you to my new chickens that I've recently purchased and had given to me, and also the ones I already had. And Howard was one that I inherited when I bought the house. So round my feet, who you can't see, all right Howard, this is Ginger. We call her Ginger Spice. Stop following me. Now, I know she's, you know, just an ordinary looking chicken, but actually she's my favourite, purely because she follows me everywhere if I'm in the coop, and she's really affectionate, so she likes being picked up and cuddled. Morning, Ginger. Ginge. So yeah, she's really friendly. So how it is giving it some bees. Look at the view today in the sunshine. We've been blessed with the weather this week. It's been really lovely. Right, let me see if I can find anyone else. Here's a close-up of Howard. All right, Howard. Right, everybody else is in the coop, so we'll just have a little wander around here and see where everyone is. I have a feeling they might be sunbathing in the other part of the coop, so... Oh yeah, and they are. Here we go. So in here we have, so the white chicken, she's called Posh, as in Posh Spice. So I don't know how, but I do like the Spice Girls, but somehow or other my chickens have been named after Spice Girls. Apart from, so the two sitting, the one on the hay bale there and the one behind the white one, they're my newest acquisitions. They're bluebell chickens. They're quite shy still, these two. They're really just sort of getting integrated into the rest of the flock. But yeah, they're quite happy enough, those two. So I haven't named those yet. So if anybody's got any good suggestions. So one of them, the one on the hay bale, she's a bit lighter. The other one's a little bit darker. And then the one you can see behind her, she's a really unusual chicken. She was one that my friends gave me, and apparently I'm not sure what breed she is, but apparently the breed originates in Mexico. So but she's baby Spice because she's the baby of the bunch. She's really young compared to the others. And then round the corner here, that's Gemma. You can just see her butt as she walks away. Gemma was one of the chickens that... Oops, let's see, here we go with Ginge again. Look, see, I told you she follows me everywhere. Come on then, Ginge. I'll leave them shut in there because it gets really warm in there and they like going to sleep in the sun. Right, back out in the chicken coop again. Howard's come in now. And just see who's in here at the moment. Oh, so up here we have Philippa. And she's very kindly laid an egg for me. Thanks, Philippa. Don't stand on it, though. Good girl. So, hello, say hello, Philippa. Philippa was one of my original chickens as well. There's Gemma again. There's the others just through there. You can see them in the other part of the coop. And then behind me, see, is Ginge again. Okay, so... this is really a floss tube about cross stitch, not chickens. So I'll leave them to it now, but I just thought you'd like to see. This is their run, and then once I've got the new ones sort of really, they realise they're staying, where I've got that sort of plastic bucket thing there, that there's a hole in the fence there and they can actually run out and play. My existing chickens used to go out there in the field, so I'll let the new ones out there as well once they all realise that they need to come home here. Oh, that's over the back field over there. The field beyond this field is another lady's got a load of chickens over there. So, but this is my setup. So I've got a bench up there. I go and sit on there, and usually Ginge comes and sits with me. So. So yeah, that's my chicken setup, just in case. So when you hear Howard giving it some beans in the background, there he is. You know what he's like. Here he is. Look, followed by his posse of girls. Posh has come out now. But yeah, I could have called the two grey ones Sporty and Scary Spice, because I haven't got one for those. But I didn't really want to call a chicken Scary. It didn't seem quite right. So, Posh. Right, okay. Enough about chickens. And yeah, hopefully you've seen my floss tube, which I'm actually filming after the chickens, if you see what I mean. Right, that's it. Bye.